Yeah, there we go. All ball kit installed. LED kit installed. Oh, she's a happy camper. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. It likes that all ball kit that I put on there. It 100% likes that all ball kit. Alright, so I'll actually bring you guys in a little bit closer here. I'm actually installing the all balls kit on this thing right now. So this is getting the complete all balls racing installation kit. This is for open track, basically, or I'm sorry, closed track. What I'm installing on here is for closed track. However, Dan doesn't care. I pretty much do this to all my carbureted bikes because if you know anything about any bike manufacturer, they absolutely love to make their bikes run lean from the factory. So we are upgrading this a few jet sizes to the all ball kit. I believe what's on here right now for the main jet is a 124. We're going to bump it up to a 130, and I do have a K&N. There we go. Did that not come loose? What is going on here? Really? Huh, you're really stuck on there, aren't you? Interesting. So we're going to upgrade the main to a 130, and yeah, so we're going to go from 124 to 130, and I'm not sure what the idle circuit is yet. I need to look at that closer, but I know that this is being bumped up to a 60, so whatever it's at right now, which is probably somewhere in the 40s, it's going to be up to the 60s. So this thing's going to eat some fuel. I mean, it's going to be a heavy breather, and it's going to eat fuel, and I'm fine with that. So if I go from 50 miles to the gallon down to like 38 miles to the gallon, I'm still okay with that. I'd rather run rich than lean. Anybody that knows anything about bikes, you know that you would rather run rich than lean. At least if I'm running, rich, I know I'm not going to damage the engine. If I'm running lean, I'm going to fry a cylinder. So I'd just rather not have that if we can avoid it, Wow, that was really stuck on there. Okay, so let's make sure these jets fit. So we're going to swap out this 124. I've already set the float height measurement from the highest point. I'd bend the tab just a little bit, but now it's set to 13 millimeters from the highest point on the side from the highest point. So we're good there. So let's dig in this all ball kit. By the way, guys, if you're going to buy any kits, avoid the eBay kits because they're absolute garbage. And the float needles aren't the same size. They pretend to make it look like the all ball kit, and it's just not. It's not the same kit. So if you really want performance, get yourself the all ball kit. Where's the 60? There we go. All right, so yeah, we're bumping this up to a 130, which isn't a massive gain, but it's enough that I should feel the power difference. So, which is exactly what I'm looking for, the power difference. All right, what'd you do with it, Dan? So let's put this main jet on there now. I love rebuilding carbs. It's so much fun. For those of you guys that think fuel injection is the best, carburetors are so easy. It's just such a simple thing. Like, all that extra technology that's on fuel injection systems is just room for failure. I have a bike sitting outside right now that's newer than this. It's fuel injected and doesn't run, and I can't figure out why. I'm having to go through the entire system. I cleaned all the fuel injectors. That did absolutely nothing for the bike, so yeah. Yeah, I'm good. All right, that O-ring is still in good shape, so I'm not going to replace it. Not necessary. These you can pretty much just turn by hand, and then a tiny, let me rephrase this, a tiny crank past it. Not much. Right there. That's it. That's it. All right, so upgraded the needle, place the needle housing, set the needle float height to 13 millimeters from the base of the carb to the basically the highest point on the float from where it starts to activate the pin. So once it falls back and hits the pin, which is spring loaded, it should stop, and that's where you take your measurement from, basically. So this one is almost complete. I'm going to go through and change the lower one here. I want to make sure that the pilot, the idle circuit, is not too big or bigger than what I'm already currently working with. So we'll just unscrew that now and have a look at it. This is a, doesn't say. You know, this is a 60 already. However, I've already bought the kit. It was $70. It was $80 for the kit, so I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. May as well make everything look all fresh, do a hickey in there. So I'm surprised it actually came with a 60. That's really surprising because these are factory carbs. So, oh well. Oh well. So let's go ahead and pop that puppy on there. There we go. Take out this guy here. See what this looks like. I want to match the size of this up with the one that I've got right now before I change it. Come on. I still have yet to figure out what this is. I think it has something to do with the pre-air injection when it's at idle. Lovely smell of gasoline. But I ordered a kit already and they were not the right size. So, however, I think these are the right size on these. The eBay kit was wrong. Yeah, this is identical to what I have. So, this is a 175 and this is a, doesn't say. Does not say what that is. So, it's all good. I'm going to pop it in. We're going to screw it down and send it. I ordered the kit for a reason. We're going to put all the parts on and see what happens. So, this thing might run the best it's ever run. Who knows? I'm probably going to have to go through and reset the idle air screw mixture after this. I'm not going to know until I get further into it, but we'll see. There's that. Okay, this carb is done. I'm going to put all these jets, putting everything and marking them in a pile so I can tell what carb they came from in case I decide to go back to those parts. I can tell what carb they came from. So this will be L, this will be R, left side, right side. So those are going to get marked as left side. These will get marked as right side. And I'll put them in an individual bag with their own words on them. So as you can see, I'm saving the little bags that I've got. So this one will be the left side. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the components back in there. You always want to keep your components. There's no, you know, if this doesn't work or I don't like the way it's functioning, then I'm going to go back to stock, obviously. So, but I feel like this bike has more potential and I want to untap the potential of this bike. So that's what we're going to do. I feel like it's just lacking fuel. It wants more. I think it wants to, it's thirsty. I think it's a thirsty bike. So that'll be left side. As far as the rest of the kit goes, I'm not going to replace it because it's not necessary. Just like I'm not going to put these rubber O-rings on there until it's absolutely necessary. However, these screws are garbage, so I am going to replace these screws with new ones because the old ones are just trash. So we're going to do that. The old ones have been stripped and they're just in bad shape. So those will go with that little bag right there. These are the new ones. Get ready to put these on here. So like I said, I'm not going to replace this gasket, even though this one looks like it's in pretty rough shape. It has yet to leak. So if you know anything about carbs, if something's not leaking, don't tamper with it more than you have to. That's just the rules. That's how this goes. Okay, just trust the Dan. He knows these things. So, all right, before I put this back together, I'm gonna do one more measurement on the, because I was tampering with it and pushing it in and out. I wanna make sure that I get my float height value set correctly. So there we go. So basically you just swing it back until it stops. Right at stopping point, that's when it's locked against the needle, and that's where you take your measurement at the highest point. Beautiful. 13 millimeter on the dot, and you are allowed to be a little off of that if you want to. Like, you can be within 1 millimeter of being off. So if they're not quite right, you're allowed that longitude of a millimeter up or a millimeter down. Ideally, you want both of them at exactly the same float height, which is 13 millimeter for this bike. So 2004 to 2009 float height set value was 13 millimeters. So this carb is ready to be put back together. So that's what we're gonna do. That's pretty much it. I don't think I need to run through how to do it on this side because I pretty much just talked about it on this side and you just watched me do it. So the highest point of the float is right here, and you're measuring it from the side here, 13 millimeters to the top. If your carb is sitting lower like this, well then you need to push that little pin in further, small amount, and then check it. Push that little bracket that the needle is sitting on in further, check it. If it's out too far, pull that little bracket outwards with a little flat head until you get it to 13 millimeters perfectly on the dot. That's pretty much how you do it. So carb tuning is very simple. Fuel injection is not. Remember that. This is why carbs are the shit, because they're so easy. As long as you don't let them get all ethanol gummed up and just trashed, you know, from sitting, carbs are really easy to maintain. There's not much to them. They're very, very, very simple. And that's why Dan likes them so much. So I'm gonna get a bigger screwdriver so I don't end up messing these up here. Let's see what I got. This one should be perfect. Yeah. You don't have to crush these down either. Don't feel like you need to mash them, because if you do, then you're gonna strip them to get them out. But these ones are actually steel, and the ones that come out of the bike are like brass aluminum ones, so they strip really easily. So these ones you can put a lot more force on, and they shouldn't strip so easy. So that's another reason to do the upgrade, is because you don't have to deal with that bull crap. Oh, by the way, that's the kit for the other side. So don't forget, you have to replace your needle housing. It can be a pain to get these out. If you're struggling to get your needle housing out because it's been in there for so long, get an easy out, shove it in there real hard, and just twist it until it pops right out. You know, a lot of times they're very, very stuck in there, and the only way to get them out is with an easy out. So, little future advice for you in case you have to deal with it yourself. So I'm going to start my carb tuning on my fuel air mixture at 2.5 turns out. I think this bike will probably actually run really well on 2.5 turns out as it sits. I'm going to have to check my spark plugs. I'm going to give them a good cleaning before I slap the bike back together. That way I can see what's happening to the carb now. Or I might just go down and get some fresh plugs and slap them on there. There we go. Like I said, no need to crush these down. Just get them nice and tight. That's it. See how that one went a little tighter? So just check them all again. You obviously don't want it leaking, but you don't want to just mash these fuckers down either, because that's just a world of hurt for yourself. So don't do it. Not necessary. Don't do it. There we go. Okay, so I'm not really going to do that one with you guys on cam. I just kind of wanted to knock this one out. Honestly, I didn't show the whole float setup and all that, but I'm pretty sure I explained it pretty well. If you don't know how to set your float height, guys, just there's tons of YouTube videos to show you how to properly set float height. Both floats need to be activating at exactly the same time. So, yeah, that's how it has to be. Otherwise, you're going to get lean running. One cylinder's going to be pulling harder than the other one. It's going to feel like the bike is cutting out. You're going to have all sorts of problems. So, as long as they're both exactly set how they should be, it should be good to go. I'm not rebuilding the whole rest of this carb, all this stuff, because it's not necessary. The choke works, everything else works. So, don't mess with things you don't have to. That's kind of the rules of how this works, you know? I don't care, because I got more. I'm replacing you anyways. I don't care. All right, so, yeah, we're putting the All Balls kit in this thing. And when I say that, I'm being serious. That's literally the name of the company, is All Balls. They help you get all the power out of your machine that they can for a decent price. kit definitely makes a difference on power output. This is a completely different bike now. That's crazy. It's definitely like a completely different bike now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn, it's getting chilly out now. I think I'm gonna be a little happy to be heading home here. I don't want to race. He's just trying to show me he's got LEDs as well. That's kind of funny. How's that, bud? Not as fast as you thought you were, huh?
Are you sure this is okay? You're in country, dude. Live a little. Now, she's pretty sensitive, so go easy on the throttle, okay? All right.